Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the 2014 Stanley Cup Finals, Rangers and Kings, right now with Tony Brown from Truman Sports Group. And Tony has really proven himself in the NHL playoffs this year, including nailing the Kings over the Blackhawks in the Western Conference Finals. Tony, thanks for being back with us.
Thanks for having me again, Pete.
All right, Tony Brown, got to give it up to you. When we first previewed the NHL playoffs, you recommended a play on the Kings with possible value to win the West, and I did bet that on a futures bet. And then, at the beginning of the series against the Blackhawks, I felt a little bit nervous about it. I said, maybe I should hedge. You said, no, don't hedge. You like the Kings, and you were dead on, Tony.
Thank you, Pete. Everybody's right once in a while, but I think that was a pretty good call. I came on 6 weeks ago and told you that it was irresponsible to have the Kings at plus 700, and that was the play all the way, and here we are in the finals.
All right, so we'll see what you have to say about the Stanley Cup Finals. Before we get to it, tell folks a little bit about who you are and Truman Sports Group if they want to know more.
My name is Tony Brown. I'm a professional sports handicapper, and Truman Sports Group is my own company. We do all sports from NHL to NCAA. Anything you need in sports betting, we handle it. Truman Sports Group at YouTube and Truman Sports Group on Instagram.com.
All right, Tony, Rangers and Kings. Now, this time the Kings are a decent-sized favorite. At Pinnacle right now, they are minus 166 to win the series. The Rangers on the other side are plus 150, and the Kings, of course, have the home ice advantage here. And also, another factor that might matter, might not matter, is that the Rangers, they're coming off a 6-game series, Kings off a 7-game series. Rangers have 3 extra days of rest and recuperation. That didn't matter, though, in the Kings series against Chicago. That was a call that you made. You said that the extra rest that Chicago had didn't matter, and you were right about that. I'm not sure how much it matters here. To my eyes, I'm thinking that the Rangers at plus 150, that's a little bit of a high line. But I know you said from the beginning that you thought that the winner of the Stanley Cup would come from the West, so I'm assuming you like the Kings here.
Of course, I don't want to retract now. The Kings been my play the whole time, and the Kings are still my play. Although this may shock you, I like the Rangers to come in and take Game 1. I think that line for Game 1's a little bit too high, but for the whole series, the Kings will take this in 6 or 7.
So you like the Kings in 6 or 7. The Kings right now at Pinnacle to win in 6 are plus 513, and to win in 7 plus 414. So maybe it'd be a little bit better to bet both those props instead of taking the Kings at minus 166.
That's definitely, because they're not going to sweep the Rangers. The Rangers didn't get to the finals by being lucky. They are a good team, but they're just not as good as the Kings. So taking them at 6 or 7, you can make a bet on both and still turn a profit.
All right. Well, to my eye, the 3 extra days of rest that the Rangers have looks pretty, like a pretty important factor. But you have a much better read on that than I do. And the Kings were in the same spot against Chicago, and you said that it didn't matter, and you were absolutely right about that. How much of a factor do you think that plays here?
None at all, once again. And I'm not trying to downplay it, but it's the playoffs. Like, who isn't tired? It's the Stanley Cup Finals. Who isn't injured? So the Kings are always coming off a 7-game series. This is their third 7-game series that they had to win against the Blackhawks. So it wouldn't be surprising if they took the Stanley Cup and be the first team in NHL history to win 4 7-game series.
All right, let me ask you this. Normally the way the Kings play is that Jonathan Quick is awesome in goal, and they have an offense that's good enough to score. But against the Blackhawks, all those games went way, way, way over. Quick gave up a ton of goals, but they were able to score a ton of goals plus enough to win the series. How do you see this series going?
I'm going to take the under in every single game,
Really?
Pete.
Wow.
First of all, the Rangers, they can't score like Chicago did.
Right.
And then Lundqvist is just as good, if not a better goalie than Quick. I see a lot of 1-0, 2-1 games easily in this series. And Jonathan Quick, I still stand by him, man. Being a great goalie doesn't always mean a shutout or 1 or 2 goals. Being a great goalie means if you need to give up 5 and your team scores 6, then that's what it is. The Blackhawks are awesome. Holding them to 5 goals when 6 was a winner, that's Jonathan Quick. We have a winner.
So then what's your explanation then for the Blackhawks series going like 7, 8, 9 goals every game?
No explanation. Anybody who says they have the explanation, you got to watch out for that guy. This was history in the making, literally, not just because I said it was. NHL history, how many times have you ever seen 5 goals in the first period of a game? 11 goals in a total game. Like, these were just record-setting plays, and it happened. But I definitely don't see it happening again, and definitely not with these two goalies.
Right.
Lundqvist is lights out right now.
So the Kings wins you see as being more like the 2-1, 2-0 type games as opposed to like 4-2, 4-3, or 5-4 games they had against Chicago.
If it goes over, I'll be shocked. I mean, a 3-2 game where we get a push at 5, I can see that, but I see a lot. I mean, Lundqvist is great. If I wouldn't have picked the Kings, I definitely would be putting a little money on Lundqvist right now. He's really stood tall between the pipes, and so yeah, I see the total going under a lot and a lot of close victories here, even some overtime games.
All right. So if Lundqvist is so great, then why do you still like the Kings at -166?
Because he's not as great as Jonathan Quick, and we can only have one winner.
All right. Tony Brown from Truman Sports Group. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, Pete.